Alright, let's have a look at what happens when your animation controls has locked channels. I'm just going to assign to this mannequin as I normally do, and you're going to find that you're going to get some default limits. And it's the limits that we're going to use to also lock the channels in the simulation. So let me just finish these up, like so. And you'll find that because these elbows and knees had locked channels, they also have these little triangle looking shapes, and these are the limits. And so if we go to the manipulator, you'll find that they are set to locked on the X and Y channels, which is also the same as the channels on your animation control. So it tries to maintain the relationship that you have on your rig in the simulation as well. So if I were to drop this, say, sideways, and I make it kinematic, or rather dynamic, you'll find that it will be unable to rotate in the axes that are locked. So it will try and preserve your animated locked state in the simulation also. Now, if your controls weren't locked, but you, well, let's say you assigned first and then you locked them, then Ragdoll wouldn't automatically create these for you. But that's fine because you can just manually lock them. So there's no sort of mystery. You can even unlock them if you wanted to. So if I hit the lock buttons, now I've unlocked these channels. So now the simulation would be able to, if I just step the simulation here, you can see that now the simulation would be able to rotate sideways. But because your rig would be unable to, by the time it comes to baking these, it would just ignore these channels and only bake Z. So let's see if we can undo that, and I'll just record it for you so you can see what happens. I'll just lock these again. And also in this case, the default, like Ragdoll doesn't really know which direction of this elbow is backwards and which is forwards. So I'm just gonna help it out by holding the control key and just dragging one of the dots to make it sort of a reasonable range of motion. So like this, for example. If you select your controller, you can also rotate this and sort of test, because you see that red line represents where inside the limit your arm is, and it can go all the way to, well, right about here. So that's probably too much still. If I just put it here, for example, and then I just adjust the limit to somewhere around there. So this is the max in that direction. So let's try it. I'm just going to lower the stiffness on the whole body to make him a bit more loose. And now when you record, he would only bake to the Z channels. Your simulation and animation should be they should be very, very similar at this point, because now they are both locked in the X and Y axes.